But I'd like to ask you one very simple, easy to answer question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I think so. I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans with your vote in this election. Oh, it's coming up so nice. We're down to 6 days, maybe sort of 5. Maybe 5 the way you count it. 6 days, can you imagine? I will end inflation. I will stop the massive invasion of criminals into our country. And I will bring back a thing called the American dream. Isn't that nice? Because we haven't had that. We haven't had that in a long time. Our country will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before.
I love what President Obama said about it. Donald Trump wants us to think this country is hopelessly divided between us and them, between the, quote, real Americans who support him and, of course, the outsiders who don't, the enemies within. He said, he talked about the guy that called Puerto Rico an island of garbage. He said, these are fellow citizens he's talking about. Here in Philadelphia, they're your neighbors, they're your friends, they're your coworkers, their kids go to school with your kids. These are Americans. They're people.
Yep.
But man, talk about a stark choice, what we saw on the ellipse last night and what we saw at Madison Square Garden, right?
Yeah. I mean, as long as there's high turnout. And I voted this week. I vote in the beautiful state of California, as you know, and it was great to have my kid fill out the ballot with me and have him pop at the mailbox. And, you know, it's a tradition. It makes me feel closer to my parents who brought me into the voting booth with them. And when I was 9, I yelled out inside the voting booth because I knew it was a sacred space. We got behind the voting booth and I yelled out, hey, who used up all the shampoo? And that was the last time my parents ever let me go voting with them. So
You threaded Americans kill more Americans than foreigners kill Americans, so we should probably play it safe and not let any more Americans into America. Thank you.
Yeah, we're number one.
Yeah. So, and also this whole, somebody named Trevor came for you on Thread, said, anyone looking for actors for political advice is a bigger moron than this guy. And you said this person voted for a TV reality show character to have the U.S. nuclear codes. I mean, first of all, they're just jealous that we have all the good celebrities. Right.
Exactly. Wow. How's Scott Baio going on this one? I mean, come on. It's like they're up to their necks with their NASCAR stars or their sports stars. But come on, man. It's like, yes, I trust artists. Artists are people who live outside the mainstream. Artists are people who look at society. And if you like someone's music or their jokes or their painting, it's because there's an element of truth in it that you recognize. That's why we admire certain artists.
Yeah.
That's why Bob Dylan's so popular, because God knows it's because people feel the truth in the work.
Yeah.
And you can tell when someone's full of crap as well. And that's why Donald Trump was a reality game show host.
Yeah. And by the way, we talked to Bob Cesca about Mark Maron. Good for him. Because there really is, I'm just telling you, it's so, isn't it weird this Madison Square Garden thing happened like right before we're doing Sexy Liberal? It is literally like 180 different, you know what I mean? And I was saying, our show, it's not like politically correct and staid and whatever. Our show is outrageous and filthy and hilarious.
Our show is deeply offensive. We
Thank
do
you.
it offensive and listen, if we don't offend and inspire people, then we're not doing our jobs right. We're here to give a permission structure for good people to laugh at dirty jokes.
I see Stephanie's cooter every time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you need to start wearing underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously,
Seriously.
Stephanie. I didn't want to say anything, but I
Okay.
mean, I thought the letter
No
from FEMA would do it.
Should I buy you some?
No extra charge for my cooter, America. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Mark Maron took aim at fellow comedians and podcasters who invite white supremacists and fascists onto their platforms and accusing them of becoming the public face of an emerging fascist political movement. He said he warns it's normalizing extreme right-wing ideology in entertainment spaces and it suffocates democracy. He said the anti-woke flank of the new fascism is being driven exclusively by comics. My peers, the part of the public face of fascist political movement that seeks to destroy the democratic idea.
He's so right.
Yeah.
So many of these people are my friends, too. You know, I got to be honest. A lot of these people are really good comics. They're people I love personally and have friendships with. And, you know, they're hardworking comics who found a revenue stream, who found a gig. And they found playing to this particular audience pays pretty good. Look at our old friend Dave Rubin, who was on my show the first week we launched on Sirius XM when he was a progressive gay comic. And then he learned, wait, I can get paid better if I sell my soul to be Tucker Carlson's pet gay.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them get
I've told this
seduced by
story
this.
a million times. I can't tell you how many radio executives have said if you just say you're going back to your dad's roots, you'll be a multimillionaire tomorrow. You'll have 600 stations.
Before I ever went to work for Sirius XM, I was offered to do a syndicated show if I would go conservative. And I was like, you mean ironically? Can I create a character and do it ironically? They were like, no, you have to embrace because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
You don't get rich taking on the status quo.
Yeah.
That's how you get shot. Ask Gandhi or Jesus or John Lennon or MLK. You get rich defending the status quo, curling up at Jabba's tentacled feet.
Well, you know how you say
going ahead and making the fascists happy.
You know how you say F you to that? You buy a ticket right now for LA Sexy Liberal, either in person or pay-per-view. Let's show these Thank you. All right. Hey, John, you're on today because you're flying into LA this week.
Flying into LA.
All right.
But I want to announce on your show,
Yes.
my book is now on sale at Amazon for pre-sale. I'm announcing it on your show and my show before I go to social media. Separation of Church and Hate, A Sane Person's Guide to Taking Back the Bible from Fundamentalists, Fascists, and Flock-Fleecing Frauds from Simon & Schuster. Check it out on Amazon or whatever site that's ruining bookstores you like.
Yay!
Yay, John, congratulations.
Perfect timing, and you can see him live on stage this Saturday. We love you, John. Fly safe.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.